Get those bets in for the primetime games, and that's what we do here on the drive-thru Monday through Friday at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. This is our live free sports picks for the games beginning at 7 p.m. Eastern Time and later. Deliver those winners, our professional handicappers over at Pick Dogs and Sports Chat Place. Let's take a peek at who's on the show with us for today. All right, let's take a look. We've got today with us, got Zawacky with us, Chris Ruffolo. It's Wednesdays with Mitch. Brad Francis in today. Wayne Scott, Big Eye McMordie. And we got Dana Lang will sign in bottom of the hour. Here's how they'll line up for this evening. Ruffolo, Mitch McMordie, Scott, then Brad Francis, Zawacky, Dana, and then I will close this one out. All right. We got World Series action today here with the game at number 5. We'll see if this series will extend or not. College football with some action up on the board. A 13-game card from the NBA. Got a handful on the ice as well. So let's get this show underway. Let's go and welcome in Chris Ruffolo. Catch him over at Pick Dogs Premium. Catch him in the mornings here with that morning show during the week, 10:30 a.m. Eastern Time. Also with his wraparound from the NHL. We'll bring in Chris here, ready to roll here for the drive-thru on Wednesday. Chris, what's happening?
Tony, not much. Just working away, trying to pick through the small card for tomorrow. It's not a great card, I'll tell you. I'd much rather have my action on tonight, and then just look forward to the weekend if possible.
That's right. Big weekend coming up here as we're into the month of November. So the game get bigger and bigger in college football. So this is the best month for college football here with all the rivalry games. And of course, we're getting all the shows now about the playoffs. So next year will be even better when we have even more teams that play playoffs. But anyway, we're far from the playoffs. We're far from April, late April now in the NBA. I mean, we're just starting. This is long haul in the NBA. Nets and the Heat. The Heat off to a slow start. What else is new in the regular season? We got Heat 6.5. Total sits here 223.5.
Yeah, the crazy thing is you blink and the playoffs are going to be here. So you're right. Let's not talk about it yet. But like you said, what else is new with the Miami Heat starting out slow? I mean, it's a team that did have a slow start last year as well. But something to also keep in mind that didn't just happen throughout the start. That kind of tailed off. It went throughout the whole year. Was the Miami Heat struggled to cover the spread at home, including the playoffs last year. The Miami Heat went 21-30-2 at home last year, and as a favorite at home, one of the worst percentages in the NBA, just 14-26-2, including the playoffs last year. And we've already seen it this year where the Miami Heat, they played one home game and narrowly got by the Detroit Pistons, 103-102. And I have a feeling we could see something similar here against the Brooklyn Nets. And I'm not saying that the Nets come in and win this game outright. It's entirely possible with the way that Cam Thomas is scoring right now, but this is a Brooklyn Nets team that's played the Cleveland Cavaliers tough in their lone home game. They went out on the road. They battled a Dallas Mavericks team that's playing really well out of the gate, and put the boots to a Charlotte Hornets team that just doesn't play any defense. I think that Brooklyn can at least score enough to keep themselves in this game, especially getting 6.5. I see this as a 3 or 4 point game. I'm going to take the Brooklyn Nets and the points in this one. Sprinkle a little bit on the money line as well.
All right, we got Chris here on this one here, taking the Nets here, plus the points here against the Heat. We'll take a quick peek here at the injury report. Now we know it's the NBA now. We got to keep an eye on that number. Claxton, Dinwiddie, looks like Cam Johnson out. Also to missing Dennis Smith on the Miami side. Just we've got Caleb Martin out. Love questionable in this one.
Yeah, and I think we're going to see sort of the injury report, play a part here. I mean, it does take a shot to the depth of the Brooklyn Nets, but I still think there's enough here for the Brooklyn Nets. I mean, they still got, Mikal Bridges. Ben Simmons is, crazy enough to say he's actually been playing semi-decent, almost had a triple-double in that last game. Dorian Finney-Smith has taken on an increased role and stepped up and filled the void well. So I think this is a Brooklyn team that, maybe not push for a playoff spot this year, but they're going to compete. They're going to be a hard team to knock off. They're going to be feisty. And like I said, I'm just not there with the Miami Heat as a home favorite, personally.
Yeah, home favorite's tough. Although you do see the difference with Tyler Hero. What might have been if Hero was healthy last year's finals?
Yeah, and I think hindsight's always going to be 20/20 in a situation like that. You can always look back and say, well, what if? And the reality is that he is a big piece of that lineup, and I bet you the Heat are probably thankful that they didn't ship him off in that in the all the hijinks that we were talking about with Damian Lillard. But again, the Heat just kind of got to move forward, and I think this is the Miami Heat team that's going to be fine, and we're probably going to see them in the playoffs. But like I said, tonight is just just I think the night to back the Nets with the points.
Playoffs or the play-in round? That's always a question. They don't care, right?
Yeah, exactly. Hey, we saw it with them last year. All you got to do is get your foot in the door.
Yep, they got in the four, and then of course they lost the first game. Then they got in that elimination game there. Needed 2 tries to get in, but they got in. So Nets here +6.5 against the Heat. This one has a start time here of 7:30 Eastern time on NBA League Pass channel. All right, Chris, let's take a look over at Pick.com for tonight's action. Huge NBA card, 13 on the board. We also have a World Series game, couple from action. We're into November, so it's time for the action. Also, hockey on the board. What do you have going over at Pick.com Premium?
Well, tonight's just hoops and hockey for me. I got my NBA fast break on the board for $19. Also got that as part of my NBA 3-point play. Also got an NHL power play on the board, but this is the greatest time to hop on long term, whether it's just with me or someone else or any of us as part of the multi-capper promotion. I've got a couple plays on there for long term subscribers as well that didn't make the packages that are on the board. So I still love them the same. So make sure you check that out. 3 days of great value because then you're going to get college football as well. And if you know me, I have tons of college football plays every week. So definitely something that you want to hop on is those long term passes for the best.
That's right, guys. Exactly right, guys. Get that long-term pass right now with all these sports overlapping. Remember, college basketball begins on Monday, so if you get that 7-day or 30-day pass, college basketball is part of that. So a great time to do it. Remember, the all capper promotion, even greater value there. All right, Chris, as always, great having you on the show. Continue that great success. We see that great run you are over the last 7 days, over 1,300 units of profit. So a good time to get on board with Chris on a long-term pass. We'll talk with you next week, but we can always catch you here on the mornings, and of course with your video series with that NHL wraparound.
Yeah, the wraparound gaining popularity, gaining steam. A lot of folks love the NHL, and happy to be able to provide that for them. We got tons of content, all the live stuff we do, all of our videos covering every game every day. Tons of content at Pick Dogs. Make sure you have that notification bell hit so that you can get notified when the newest content drops, and can get you the most up to date information.
Yep, subscribe, set those notifications. All right, Chris, have a great night. We'll catch up with you next week.
Sounds good, Tony. Take care.
You as well. Chris Ruffolo here on the drive through. Let's continue on. Up next, we'll catch up with Mitch. Catch him at Pick Dodge Prim. Also part of that morning crew here tomorrow, 10:30 a.m. Eastern time. Mitch, what's happening?
Just having another full day here at Pick Dogs. Started early and ended late. I don't know. Our half-hour and hour shows are now 2-hour shows, and just everything else in between. Just have a lot going on here, and it's most of the stuff I can't talk about, but a lot of stuff, of course, I can. Seeing all the new people that we have as far as the new products that we have that we're developing. We also have a lot of free stuff that we'll be rolling out in the next, I don't know when it's going to be, but it's going to happen, I promise, and you guys are going to, it's jaw-dropping.
Absolutely, great. All right, guys, keep tabs on that. And tonight, this has been the big line mover, right? All of a sudden, the injury report cleaned up on the Clippers side here. Clippers and Lakers going head-to-head. Lakers 2.5, total 227.5.
Yeah, the big line move. Kawhi Leonard and Paul George look like they will be playing in this game after they were listed as questionable this morning. That's what Lou said. The thing is they should be playing. It's they have 4 days off after this. Not even Kawhi could justify taking it for rest. I mean, even though they're playing on a back-to-back, if anything, maybe the game against the Magic, he could have justified taking it off, having to play the front end of a back-to-back, but not against the Lakers. So, I don't know. I blew this one. I had it loaded up as a premium pick this morning. I did not hit enter because I was just, do I do it? Do I not do it? I still like the Clippers even without those guys, and I think they win this thing on the money line. I think they're the better team. They've covered 12 in a row against the Lakers as the road team in this. They beat, when they're the road team. I know they both play in the same arena, but when they're considered the road team, and it's 12 in a row for the Clips, and I don't see any reason why they don't make it lucky number 13. I don't love what the Lakers are doing this year. It's almost like they're pressuring Anthony Davis to take over things, and he doesn't seem like he wants to. So it's like, maybe he's not the guy. So then, now they have D'Angelo Russell stepping up, and it's like, those between him, and LeBron and AD. And then you got absolutely nothing else. Well, the Clippers, adding James Harden, who said he's very excited to be in LA. He won't be playing tonight, the way things figure. Like I said, 4 days off for the Clippers after this game. So they really do have a lot of time to integrate Harden and Tucker. into the team.
All right, Mitch, here on the Clippers. Of course, Clippers with some expiring contracts here. I think if it works, I mean, I personally like the deal, even though, we got a lot of expiring contracts here. Clippers did give up a lot of picks in this one, but if it works, they'll be back next year, right?
They should be fine, the Clippers, and winning cures everything. So we'll see if it actually does, in their case, because I believe they're going to win a lot of games. I think Paul George just never really gets the credit that he's due. I mean, he's a guy that doesn't have any rings, but I would take him over Chris Paul any day. I know they don't play the same position, but still, same idea though. It's like a guy that gets a lot of ink but doesn't win anything. And like I said, I think guys like Chris Paul somehow skate away with that. But
the one wrinkle,
guys that are real hard workers don't.
The one little wrinkle, I don't know if it'd be a big deal, but I know Russell Westbrook likes to be a starter. Looks like Harden starts and Russell comes off the bench again, and that was his pet peeve. He doesn't like coming off the bench because he cools down too much, not playing after the warm-ups.
Well, I think that he'll still get his shots in somehow or another. It's what he does.
Yeah, that's something to keep an eye on there. Little wrinkle there, but again, with that talent around him, I think Russell's going to have to find a way to keep warm, maybe ride a stationary bike somewhere, who knows what. But that was his big pet peeve coming off the bench. So Clippers here, plus 133 money line here against the Lakers. All right, Mitch, let everybody know what's happened over at Pick Dogs.
Well, we got so much going on. We have more YouTube videos that we're doing than ever before. More people doing videos. We have more live shows than ever before. We just have a lot going on, and really you have to just kind of stay on the pulse of it. We have in the future, it's not going to happen tomorrow, but we have new websites we're releasing that are going to highlight. Right now we're only showing you guys on the Pick Dog site like 1/100th of our betting tools and things like that, and on Sports Chat Place we're showing you maybe like 6 to 8% of what we have available. So. And our new websites are going to be based on the betting tools themselves. And, circle back. We're still going to keep, of course, our previews and write-ups and all that other stuff. We're, of course, going to continue here on YouTube. And thanks to everybody out there. 150,000 subscribers
nice.
We hit last night, and 95 million viewers. Setting it down, we should hit that 100 million around Thanksgiving-ish, maybe a little after. Depends on how good our videos are, I guess.
Yeah, no, it's just lots of content. That great to see all the great stuff up there, of course, from the Pick Dogs. Remember,
I'm more excited about the 100 million views
yes.
than I was about the 100,000 subscribers.
Yeah. Remember when you started?
I mean,
Yeah.
You could have 100 people watching your video, 100,000 people watch your videos, get 100,000 subscribers, but 100 million views mean, people are coming back and people are watching, getting them out there. So,
absolutely, no doubt about that. All right, Mitch, it's always great having you show. Have a great night and get ready for college basketball on Monday, right?
Absolutely. 83 games on Monday. I don't know how many we'll do videos on, but we'll have a bunch. We always do.
Any team on your radar this year?
For college hoops?
Yeah.
Miami. Elite Eight 2 years ago, lost to the eventual national champion. Final Four last year, lost the eventual national champion. Lost only two players from last year's team. One starter that they lost, absolutely stacked. They did not really get bled out in the transfer portal, maybe with some of their depth, but they also brought in depth through the portal. And like I said, all their starters are still there. I believe they have the best point guard in the nation in Pack. So let's see what happens.
Any team under the radar? Any mid-major team keep an eye on?
I'm still digging through the blue ribbon. It's a thick book this year.
It's a lot. It's a lot. You never know.
I bought the online and the bound. I got them both. So.
Yes. And maybe
it's
the
like I read
version.
in bed,
Yeah.
I read in bed. I got the iPad here. It's like I'm reading both.
Yeah, you got to get it. You got to keep an eye on who's got the returning starters, the coaching change. Everybody wants to play fast. Every coach wants to play fast, but not all of them do and can do it. Be careful when
Tony's
you read
the one
stuff.
that told me. He's like, I always read the blue ribbon, but I didn't realize everybody else did. But Tony was saying that, he sees the guys on TV all reading the blue ribbon.
Yeah. Lavin and all those guys,
Like,
they'd have it right there
a
on
little
the
thick this week. And the thing about the blue ribbon is not the big type either. It's
Oh yeah.
triple column.
Yes, yes,
Like
yes,
even the
yes.
little schools get page and a
Yeah,
half.
keep an
Like,
eye
this
on
is
those.
the Northern Colorado write up. Is this?
Yeah. Yeah, and also keep an eye on those teams that went to Europe in August, right? That I think that helps them a little bit to start the season.
I think we're going to learn a lot about these teams in November. We have the Paradise Jam looks absolutely exquisite, and the Maui Invitational is in Honolulu this year. But it's Gonzaga, Kansas, Creighton, Tennessee, Syracuse. Syracuse, I think, is going to finish last place. It's the Jim Boeheim era is over.
Yeah, that's good to keep an eye on. Yeah, looking
But I
forward
do
to
have my blue ribbon. I got both the online and the.
There it is, the paperback version. It was
This is if anyone out there is watching the show, this is the non-paid endorsement.
Right.
But if anyone else is out there and they're looking for a college football preview,
basketball.
this is the only one to get.
Yeah.
If you don't need like a million college basketball magazines and previews, you just need this one. It's the only one.
They get interviews from pretty much all the coaches, and the coaches actually.
I think they all use it.
They all use it. They all use it. Yep.
I think they all use it.
Yeah. Yep.
This is the Bible on college basketball. It's 400 pages total, so you can get through it. Last page is Chicago State.
Of course, Chicago State. We love those early starts. They're usually just they got to get that game out of the way, right?
Yep.
Love those day college basketball games. The tournaments coming up. The Gonzaga Classic, the Gonzaga U.S. Tour. Looking forward to that, where they land all over the country to help start the season. But we got a quick start to it. Again, getting closer and closer to Halloween.
Yeah, but not a lot of big matchups on opening night. Not a lot of big matchups there. So it's gonna be. That's why it's hard for us to pick out which ones to do videos on. We'll just go through and pick out the big name teams and see what we can do.
Yeah, they're going up against Monday Night Football. They're going to start on Monday. So, but
I think the NBA has a monster card on Monday
too as well. Yeah, but you got to get those games in. We'll see how it rolls. All right, Mitch. Have a great night, a great year. We'll catch up with you again next week.
Thanks, everybody.
You got it. Mitch here on the drive-thru. Let's continue here on the drive-thru. Up next, Big Al McMordie. Catch him over at Pick Dogs Premium. We always talk about this about Big Al, about college basketball starting. It's always, Big Al, what's happening?
Oh, not much. Yeah, it's not. I don't mind the college basketball. I do mind that first day though. That first day's hell.
Yeah, that first day's a lot, right? You got to get all those 83 games. This year, it's a little different with the NBA and the Monday Night Football that you're going up against. We'll see.
I mean, I don't care about that. I'm just looking at the amount of data I have to enter into my database.
Oh, that's the truth. Yes.
No one cares about the games. I mean, the games are Bethesda versus Stanford. It's just garbage.
Gosh, yeah. There doesn't seem to be a really good matchup this year at all. Hey, what did you think about your comeback for the Spurs the other night?
Well, believe it or not, I assume you're talking about the game yesterday against the Phoenix Suns. I had my big play on San Antonio, the game plus 7.5, and someone sends me a text message, when they were down 20. Of course, how it works.
Yep.
Spurs suck ass. And I said to myself, I'm not even going to reply. The game is, it's in the first half. I'm just going to wait for the comeback. And then I'm also not going to reply, because I'm not even going to say did you see the final? They come back, they win the game, and then I just didn't even say anything, just let a stupid comment sit there. Just let it sit there, right? And that person just feel real small there in that comeback there. And yeah, I mean the Spurs showed some fight there to come back after that. That's going to happen in the NBA. You're going to have those nights where you just get pounded, and they made a comeback there and bounced back from that bad loss. But tonight we go here, NBA here as Nuggets are on the road here facing the T-Wolves, and we're seeing the Nuggets just minus 1.5. Interesting money line, minus 135 with that spread, total 219.5. Yeah, I mean I actually see plus twos. You're looking at plus 1.5. I guess that's a pinnacle. So going into this season, defending NBA champions were 0-10 ATS their last 10 when they were undefeated on the season. So whether there was 1-0, 2-0, 3-0, etc. Now, Denver is 4-0, so they've played 3 games as an undefeated team. They've gone 1-2 ATS. So that brings the angle to 1-12 ATS the last 13. That's one reason why I favor Minnesota. Another is that Denver knocked the T-Wolves out of the playoffs last year. So the T-Wolves have revenge from that playoff series defeat. Most of the time, I don't care about playoff revenge in the NBA. There were a few last week. There was Milwaukee-Boston. There was Sacramento-Golden State. I actually liked Golden State in that matchup. But in this game, I actually like the T-Wolves for a couple reasons. It's a division game, and they're an underdog. And so you get a playoff revenge-minded team versus a division rival, and you get an underdog. Those teams have done pretty well over the past 34 years. They've covered 57%. So I'm going to take the 2 points with the T-Wolves.
All right, we got Big Al McMordie says go ahead and take the points here with the Timberwolves. You can find +2. This is the sharpest book in the world. This is where the sharp money here is on this dog here. Timberwolves.
You go play at the square books. You'll make more money.
Well, the square books. That's where it's at. We want to show you the sharpest line so you know how to play it, right? You can line read a little bit there. One thing Minnesota's doing and showing improvement up from the 3-point area, and can this good defense hold, right? That's I always worry about with the T-Wolves.
I don't worry about anything. I just
bet the games.
Numbers. Yeah, I mean, my big play was on San Antonio yesterday. They're the worst team in the league. I don't care.
Big Al's got the numbers, man. No sweat bet. This what that came in with that team. Yep, the T-Wolves here +2 against the Nuggets. This one have a start time 8 p.m. Eastern time. All right, Big Al, let's take a look over at Pick Dog for nice action. 13-game card from the NBA. We also have action here from the World Series. We have college football with action as well as hockey. What do you have going over at the site showing great results over the last 7 days?
Oh, I'm sorry, my ears went out. You said something about what do I have going on at the site and then I missed it. Okay. Yeah, I've got 3 plays in the NBA, off to a good start in basketball. Well, I mean, it's been good for the last 3+ years, but, this season again going well. 10-3 so far to start the season. I think over the last 3+ years, it's if you just bet 1,000 on every game, college and pro, you'd be up like 138,900 after the juice. So a lot of people don't like playing early season NBA, because they're just not interested yet, but there's a lot of good opportunities early on in the NBA, so I urge people focus on the NBA right now. So I've got 3 in the NBA. I've got 1 play in baseball, so 4 plays overall. And I'm trying to think what else. Oh, I've already posted NFL for Sunday. I've got 3 plays. It's going to be a light card, Tony, for me in the NFL this week. I have 3 plays. I might get up to 4 when all is said and done, but it's not high volume this week in the NFL for me.
All right, guys, get on board with Big Al McMordie over at Pick Dogs Premium. See the great results over the last 7 days. Great time to get on board with those long-term passes. Remember, you can save 15% off when you use the promo code PICK at checkout. All right, Big Al, as always, great having your show. Everybody know about your All Access right now.
Oh, sure. Yeah, we started the All Access maybe a little over a month ago. I had a tremendous October. I'm working with Eric and Costi on it, and I think for the month, I think I did a show with Eric this morning, and he keeps all the records, and he said I think we were up 99,000, so like 99 net units for November. The games are rated 10-1, so you can see when you join the All Access, you can see which games are the highest rated. So if you're betting a dime a unit, you would have made $99,000. So it's not for everyone. You have to be able to bet $2,000, $5,000 a game, etc. But if you're a big player and you don't mind high volume, because on some days I might have 10 plays, just text Big Al to 775-636-7676. Another benefit of the All Access, it is All Access 24/7. You can contact us 5 minutes before the game if there's a game you're looking at or you're going to and you want our opinion on it. We'll be able to get with you, no matter what time of night. So
there you go, guys.
Yeah, that's it. Sorry, I'm still a little bit under the weather.
I got you. Yeah, no problem. Get on board here with Big Al, that Big Al Access. Fantastic work. We're getting a question here on the chat room. Someone's asking, why is Denver only a 2-point favorite? The defending world champions are 4-0. They're facing T-Wolves teams that's 1-2.
Okay, first, small sample size. Denver's not going to go 82-0, and Minnesota is not going to go 27 and 55. Okay. So you don't throw the records out. At the end of the season, Denver's going to win about 54 games, and Minnesota is going to win a majority of their games as well. Minnesota's going to have a winning record at home. Denver's never been a great road team. Even last year, I mean, they win at home, don't really win on the road. So Denver didn't cover this season. In fact, Denver hasn't covered 2 out of their last 3 games. So people need to look through the win-loss records and look at home-road dichotomy, margin of victory, and stuff like that.
There you go. For the best there is.
I don't know if that answers the question. But,
well, they appreciate it. Getting a lot of thank yous there. So thanks there from Big Al from Mr. Zhao was asking about that question. I'm sure everybody had that question. They see that short line and they're thinking, why is Denver only 2? And then Big Al gave a great explanation as to sometimes with this line as it is. All right, Big Al, have a great night and get better. Hope we can catch up with you again tomorrow.
Yeah, I'll be back tomorrow.
You got it.
Thanks, Tony.
Big Al McMordie here on the Drive Thru. Let's continue on. Thanks for the chats, for those great questions. It was really, really good. That was a really good question there, and I'm glad you guys brought that up because I know a lot of people may have wondered about that line being so short on the Nuggets, and you got the best explanation you can get from Big Al McMordie. All right, let's continue on here on the Drive Thru. Up next, we're going to bring in Wayne Scott, catch him over at Pick Dogs Premium. Bring him in right now, ready to roll here. Man who covered the NBA since the summer. Right, we're summer league to the FIBA World Title with Germany. We still remember that, huh? Wayne, what's happening?
What's going on, Tony T? What's going on, family? Hope y'all doing good.
Wayne is basketball 365. That's what he is. Basketball 365. Doesn't stop. All right. I wouldn't be surprised if he was keeping an eye on those college exhibitions in August in Europe. Anyway.
I'd definitely be on them.
Be on them, right? Because those are the teams you can get a good jump on to start the season because not everyone gets to play overseas, and a lot of these teams play overseas in August, and it really helps them out. So that's something there as well to keep an eye on. But tonight we go to the NBA here. Bulls at the Mavericks. The Mavericks here laying 3.5 now, or 4 if you do your line shopping. We're always show the sharpest book in the world here. How do you see this one?
Yeah, man. Dallas comes in, a little bit of fool's gold with wins over Brooklyn and San Antonio. On the other side, 2-2, Indiana, Detroit, Toronto, and OKC. 1-3. Dallas, they struggled to cover last year, so they're not a high cover team. I don't know if you guys been watching Dallas, but Luka has been going off. Luka is very dependent on Kyrie Irving's in game time decision. This is a younger team. They do have talent, but Lively in the starting lineup. Guys got like Hardy off the bench. I just don't think that they can sustain the winning the way they have. I believe that all Bulls are on middle on defense. It's not scoreless Dallas, but they do on defense. They're about same in turnovers, but I like the Bulls with the first one. They're feisty team. They have the veterans to keep it close and be outright the Mavericks if they come in slipping at home.
All right, we got Wayne here says the Bulls plus 3.5. That's where it's at now. 3.5. The line has come down from an opener here of 5 here against the Dallas Mavericks in tonight's NBA action. Of course, looking here at the injury list, Levine probable, but Kyrie Irving will be doubtful in tonight's game. Something to keep an eye on there. And one thing to note here, I was looking at some of the numbers here in this one, and you mentioned the level of competition here for these Mavericks, but let me go back and look at my notes on this game. If I'm not mistaken, Dallas has been getting by, winning games, playing terrible defense, if I'm not mistaken here.
Yes, exactly. Tony, one of the things I definitely was trying to point out, they've been doing it with offense. And very Luka official. Luka's dropping 40 plus points. He's not going to do that so it's going to come a time where he's going to have to depend on some of these youngs that are coming up this bench and in this lineup. And on a night like this, possibly without Kyrie, we just can't go in betting thinking Luka's going to hold his team on his shoulders and score 40 every night. Not against a veteran team like the Bulls, to match up pretty evenly with them bench wise and starters. They might have the slight advantage on more nights than others. Definitely if Vucevic comes to play. Vucevic is kind of their guy they need to play well, and their starting lineup for them to succeed.
That's right. And of course, we can give you an update here on Levine. Levine is dealing with a back ailment. He's been playing through that back ailment. He had 51 points, 23 points in the last two contests. Wayne, playing through this back ailment that is listed here.
Yeah, man, he's been balling, but they didn't win that game. I remember that game. I was on them that game that he went off. But they need to pass the ball more. They need to rely on each other, not be so Levine dependent and DeRozan dependent. Like I said, the two games they win, they do good playing inside out ball, getting the ball to Vucevic, kind of letting him run like the Jokic. Even though he's not Jokic, he's a good passer. He can hit the three. But when they play out through him and not just kind of play one-on-one ball, the Bulls, they can beat some decent teams night in and night out. So they still got a good team. I know a lot of people are pretty down on them, but they still got the pieces to win at night in and out, definitely when you're getting points.
And that's exactly a great point. You brought that in, night out, night out. This is where we're at in this point of the season. It's a night-by-night game, night-by-night season. Preseason, we're doing a lot of season win totals. We're kind of painting with a broad brush about how we see the team. But there's going to, obviously, you keep that in the back of your mind, but you independently handicap each game differently. And sometimes you got to throw out that preseason talk.
Yes, sir. You definitely do. You gotta you gotta look at everything, the totality, and then you gotta bring it down to the small sample size too. So if you want to win night in and night out, or as much as possible, you definitely gotta look at as much info as you can, whether you're going long term with it or short term. It helps out.
Yeah, no doubt about that. RK Wayne here on the Bulls, plus the 4 against the Mavericks. This one to have a start time here, 8:30 Eastern time. All right, Wayne, let's take a look over at Pick.com for tonight's action. World Series on the board. Great season, Major League Baseball here for Wayne. We also have a 13-game card NBA. We have lots of action on the ice as well as action as well. What do you have going on over at Pick Dogs Premium?
I have a 3-pack out there, 2 NBAs and 1 MLB. I also got a college football play for my long-term subscribers. Getting ready to ramp up for this weekend. Not the best NFL card. College card looks decent. I definitely see some spots that I'm ready to pounce on. And just getting ready for everything. College basketball, still keeping in tune with boxing. There's some great cards coming up. Andreas versus my... Guy Benavidez and Shakur's about to fight coming up, so I'll have some videos. But right now at the site, like I said, just a 3-pack for the night.
All right, guys, got on board with Wayne Scott over at Pick Dogs, a premium 3-pack on the board tonight, so get on board with that. Or the long-term pass, the way Wayne's been running, get that 7-day pass, covers the entire World Series, whether it ends tonight or goes to Game 7 on Saturday. That's covered. Also, NHL, NBA, college basketball beginning on Monday, so get on board. Pick as a promo code, save that 15% off. All right, Wayne, as always, great having you show. Continue that great success. We'll catch up with you again tomorrow.
I appreciate you for having me, Tony T. Good luck on all your bets out there, Pete Dog family.
You as well. Wayne Scott here on the drive to. Let's continue on here on the show. Next up, we got Brad Francis. Catch him over at Pick Dogs Stream. Hope you're catching his parlay video series here on Pick Dogs. It's up there every day. We'll bring in Brad here, ready to roll here. Just a second here as we get his data ready to run here on the screen. Ready to go with Brad. Brad, what's happening?
Hey, what's up, Tony? How we doing today?
I'm doing great. All right, here we go tonight. College football. Let's get to the right game here. I think I had pushed the wrong button. We're going some action here. You're going to be looking at this great one tonight between Kent and Akron.
Oh, man. This one's going to be horrendous, Tony. This is going to be an ugly game. So give me the under 39.5 here. I believe Kent State has the worst offense in the country, honestly. They are horrific. Like I said, it's just terrible to watch. They're averaging just 12.5 points per game. And Akron's offense isn't good either. They haven't put up more than 14 points in their last 4 games. So got 2 terrible offenses in this one. And one thing about this Akron squad, what they do well is they do put up a fight on defense. So they've held Buffalo and Central Michigan to 13 and 17 points. I just don't see where the points come from in this one. Like I said in the beginning, this may be one of the ugliest college football games in college football history. That's how bad it's going to be. So just give me the under here, man.
All right, Brad says just keep it under here, and this one here between between Kent and Akron. I know when you pull up numbers, sometimes for me what got my attention here is, I mean, I saw how dreadful those offensive numbers looked, and then I looked deeper. I said, okay, how bad has it been now when we look at conference? And I couldn't believe to my eyes that Akron's offensive numbers were worst against the conference. That's what really. Jeez.
Yeah, it's absolutely insane.
Yeah.
And I mean, with the weather cooling down too, I think it's like 32 degrees or something in where this game's being played. So that may play a role. The boys may be a little chilly. So yeah, I'm all over the under here.
All right, we got Brad here. Kent, Akron, under 39. This one to have a start time here, 7:30 p.m. Eastern time. All right, Brad, let's take a look over at Pick Dodgement for tonight's action. Of course, we do have action on the board, the World Series, as well as the 13-game card NBA. Look at Brad, big start to the NBA this year. Also, hockey. What do you have going over at Pick Dogs Premium?
Yeah, I got my NBA 3-pack. Like you said, man, I'm big killing in NBA. I'm actually 11-2 in the NBA to start the season. And in the last 7 days, I'm 19-3, which is, I mean, those numbers are tough. Those numbers are tough to reach. These heaters, I go on a heater like this probably once a year, guys. So, and they don't last forever. And when I have this momentum, it's hard to kill it. So if you ever wanted to buy a package from me, this is the time. So yeah, hop on my 3-day NBA package for today. My first game starts in 15 minutes. Let's win some cash there. But also the long-term pass is the way to go because this heater's not going to stop.
That's right, guys. Get on board with Brad Francis over at Pick Dodge. From great start to the NBA. Good time to get on board with Brad's packages. The long-term pass, you want to try them out for that 7 days, do that as well with Brad. And of course, last 7 days, 1,570 units of profit. That's been a really good production here from Brad Francis over at Pick Dogs Premium. And of course, don't forget, when you get on board with Brad, you can also go with the long-term pass. Pick as a promo code, save that 15% off. You can also add a second capper with that 2-point capper promotion. Even greater value there. All right, Brad, as always, great having you show. Continue that great success. We'll catch up with you again on Friday, but let everybody know we can catch your parlay video on the site.
Yes, sir. Yep, dropping the parlay videos 7 days a week, 365 days a year. So go to Pick Dogs YouTube. You'll see my face there, and check out the parlay videos.
All right, check out the parlay videos. Like, subscribe, set notifications, so when Brad drops those videos, you get them in real time. All right, Brad, have a great night. We'll catch up with you again end of the week.
Sounds good, Tony. Have a good one.
You got it. Brad Francis here on the drive through. Let's continue on here on the show. Up next, we're going to go ahead and bring in Rod Zawacky. Catch him over at Pick Dogs Premium World Series Act. You know, I had made a mistake. I thought we were talking Coyotes hockey, but it was Arizona Diamondbacks tonight. So we're getting a World Series pick here from Rod. Let's bring him in right now. Maybe we'll get a parlay from Rod. Rod, what's happening?
Not too much, Tony. Get ready for tonight's action. Shooting hockey videos during the day. Busy with appointments, busy time of year. Starting in some college hoops. Definitely. Only 2 hockey plays today, right? So smaller hockey.
Smallish card tonight. Well, actually, there's 4 tonight. There's 4 tonight.
4 games.
4 games tonight, and
as I said, I have a parlay, so you can definitely check those out over. They're archived. Check out the parlay video. You'll see it there.
There you go. That's where you'll catch it there on the parlay video. When you like and subscribe, when Rod drops those videos, you get them in real time right away. All right, Rod, here we go tonight. Rangers and Diamondbacks. It's a game 5. It's a closeout here with a champagne flow in Arizona, or will it have to flow for somebody in Texas? Arizona favored 106, total 8.5.
Yeah, we look at this. This 8.5 seems pretty light. I kind of lean to the over. I think we see runs like we did last night, and it finished 11-7. Texas jumped out to the 10-0 lead, and then the bullpens came to work, and we've seen what the bullpens have been doing. In this one here, well, we get Eovaldi's going to get the start here for Texas, and when Arizona faced them in Game 1, they did hit him. They hit him for 6 hits, 5 earned runs, even got a home run off him. He went 4.2 innings last time he faced these D-backs. So can they get to him again? I think they can. You look at Zach Gallen on the other side of the mound for the Diamondbacks, and he went 5 innings last time, and he only gave up 4 hits. So, and you look, 2 of those hits that he gave up, those 4 hits, were to Adonis Garcia. So 2 of those hits, with Adonis out of the lineup in this one, there's 2 hits less. So basically, Zach Gallen, the first time we've seen him versus these Rangers, threw a 2-hitter. The Diamondbacks can do that again. I really like it because when you throw it to the bullpen over the last 10 games, Texas bullpen 5.21 ERA, Arizona 4.06 ERA. So you got to give the edge to the Diamondbacks and the bullpen. And hitting wise, Arizona 243 over the last 10 games versus right-handed pitching. Texas 228 versus right-handed pitching. I don't think this series is over yet. Give me the Diamondbacks in this one. I force game 6.
All right, Rod said it's going to force a game 6. We've got the Diamondbacks looking, in a closeout spot. No more tomorrow. Of course, Rod, you're stepping in front of a huge locomotive right now, a huge one, which is the Rangers. They don't lose on the road.
Correct. That big streak that they've got going on the road, I think it ends here. And all streaks come to an end. We know they come to an end. We've seen it happen many a times. Baseball needs one more game. They want the money. This game goes one more.
There you go. One more there from Rod. Okay, Rod, you got a player prop for us to get us on top?
In this one?
to steal something from Mills. Yeah, player prop.
Yeah, take Zach Gallen over his strikeouts. I think he pitched, 6-7 strikeouts last time. I'm going to go with Zach Gallen over his strikeout prop. He's probably got the same one in there, but I love it. He might not be. He might be on Texas. He might be milking Eovaldi, and I don't like that. So I'm going to go Arizona. Take Zach Gallen, strikeout props. Take his over 15.5. Was it 15.5? I think is his outs. 15.5 outs. Usually where it's sitting at. Take his over outs too. I think he goes 5-6 innings strong in that one. Usually 18, right? Or usually 15.5.
Usually we'll see. Yeah, usually, and then also too, there's an angle here where you can bet him to win the game, and not lose or go to the bullpen. Let me see what we have on the pitcher prop here on this one here. Listed pitchers, props. Let's take a look here at Gallen. Gallen here, strikeouts. The strikeout number for Gallen is 4.5. 4.5 for Gallen.
Love the over.
The over.
Take the over there.
It's a plus. It's even money there. Even money there. Outs recorded for Gallen. 15.5 outs. That means he goes.
That was right.
5. He goes. You got to go 5 2/3 innings for that to cash. Plus 120.
I like the over 15.5. I think he goes 15. 15. I think he gets over
that's right.
that.
That's right. 15 innings. Yeah, that's right. You got to go 5. You got to go 5 innings and a third for that to cash. 5 1/3. So that's 15.5 innings.
I like it. I think he goes 6. I think he goes 6.
Now here's interesting.
Get you the over.
Here's something interesting here. To record a win, that means he has to be the pitcher on record who wins, which means he has to be ahead. The bullpen doesn't win the game. So to win the game, yes, that he is the winning pitcher. Because sometimes the bullpen guys get the win, right? So if he is the winning pitcher, Rod, the return is plus 300.
Oh, I love it. Take that. I think Zach Gallen wins this game. I think he's the reason that this is going to force another game. Like I said, the first time he faced Texas, he only gave up 4 hits, and 2 of those were to Adonis. So he would have pitched a 2-hitter if Adonis wasn't in there, and he ain't in there now. So I think big-time players step up in big-time spots. Zach Gallen steps up in this spot. We know he pitches his best at home. We've seen him do it all season long. He steps up, goes 6 solid innings.
There you go.
We got Diamondbacks a little bit of life.
He's going to roll.
Everybody loves a little bit of hope, right?
He's spreading his chips. He's spreading his chips on Gallen. Gallen. on that. He's spreading your chips all over Gallen. It's like a roulette.
Yep.
He's got him. He's spreading those chips. He's got them all on Gallen tonight. D-backs laying the 4 here. Minus 104 against the Rangers, plus those extra props from Rod tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern time. All right, Rod, let's take a look over at Pick Dodge for tonight's action. Big NBA card, 13 on the hardwood, 4 on the ice. Maction, maybe on the ice too, for all we know. What do you have going on over at Pick Dodge?
Sorry, the action wasn't very good today. 1-17 versus a 1-17. I'm not gonna. There's nothing premium about that. I kind of as you did. I started digging into the numbers and I tried to find a spot to get on something, and I just couldn't do it. I would go with what Brad said. Take the under. How much scoring is gonna be done? Those offenses stink. Yikes. Well, for me, over at Pick Dogs Premium today, I have 2 plays. I've got one. Both plays on the ice today. One for long-term subscribers. My 10-star play of the day over at Pick Dogs Premium. I wasn't enamored with today's card. One of those. There were lots of places to spot, but I just didn't find anything that I really wanted to jump on. That match scared the snot on me. We'll be back at it tomorrow. I definitely didn't like any of those football games today. Those are like coin flip games because they can go easy. Whoever fumbles the ball most is going to lose that game. Let's put it that way.
That's right. Maybe take the dog money line. That's I thought.
That's it. Yeah, maybe take the dog money line. You can't go wrong
on
with
both.
you
You go 1-1, you win money, right?
Yeah, exactly. Take the dog in both of those and hope one of those hits and you'll get lucky. But it's ugh. I deep dived those last night. I just couldn't find the space to. Nothing premium there for me.
Nope, can't stomach the action tonight. So get on board with Rod. Even though the great number is there, but he's going to pick his spots. That's what you do. There's plenty of football come up anyway. We're in November, right? So
definitely. I've got 3 NFL plays in already. I've got 3 college football plays in. So grab something long term. You'll already get the best of the number with me there in college football and NFL. As you see, we're doing well. There are a few spots that I've already jumped on. Definitely going to put some more in as well. I like the NFL and college this week, so a few more plays that I've seen over the day today that I got to put in. So definitely jump aboard long term this week. Grab a 7-day pass. They'll get you right into the opening night of college hoops. So can't go wrong with that with a 7-day pass. Use that promo code PICK at checkout. You get 15% off. Join me for the week. Get you right into a few days. You get college football, NFL, college hoops, NHL, NBA, and their opening night in college hoops, where we got so many games. And I've been deep diving it already, so I'm going to correct. I believe yesterday when you asked who they got the I said Nimrod. Nimhard. It's Nemhard. I mispronounced the guy's name that went to Gonzaga that they scooped up. He was number 2 in the portal that the Gonzagas picked up. The other guy that I like is Steel Venter. They picked up. He leader of the Big Sky last year. He was the Big Sky player of the year that they added. And Graham Ike. We haven't seen Graham Ike in a year, so he's got a question mark by him. I like what we've seen from him before. When we did see him in 21 and 22, he was averaging 19 points a game, 9.6 rebounds a game, and I think with the Cowboys where he was in that game, and he led them to a good season, and then he got hurt. And then had an off season last year. I think he comes back here with the Zags, and the Zags, watch out, because they're not done yet either. I know they had a lot of guys leave in the portal, but they're not done bringing more guys here. They'll be good. Watch out for the Zags.
Keep up on the Zags from Rod. All right, Rod, have yourself a great evening. We'll catch up with you again here on Steak Friday, but of course we can catch your videos over on the site.
Yeah, definitely like, subscribe, that we get notified when those videos drop. 12 games tomorrow, plus the parlay video, so 13 videos to check out on the ice tomorrow, and love those. There's a bunch there. I love big action in hockey tomorrow. Definitely check those out over at Pick Dogs.
That's right, guys. Check them out over at Pick Dogs Premium. Use that promo code PICK. Save that 15% off. Rod, have yourself a great evening. We'll catch up with you on Steak Friday.
You as well, Tony. Good luck with your bets, everybody. Catch you guys on Friday.
Catch you on Friday. Rod Zawacky here on the drive through. Let's continue on. We're going to bring Dana Lane here. My pick comes up here at the top of the hour here. So let's just go ahead and let you know that's going to be Bucks Raptors over 223.5. All right, let's continue on here on the drive through. Time for Dana Lane. Catch him over at Pick Dogs Premium. We'll bring Dana in right now from Las Vegas, Nevada. So I think we're all set to go here. We'll bring in Dana Lane. Dana, what's happening, Dana?
Hi, Tony. How are you?
Everything's going great. All right, here we go tonight. We're going to be looking here at the NBA here. Hawks and Wizards going head-to-head.
Yeah, there's so much to say about this game because listen, Atlanta was bet up from 7.5 to 9, and I don't even know, there's so many ways I could spin this and say I think Atlanta has the advantage of this. And I'll just start with coaching. I mean, we saw the other night when the Atlanta Hawks were down by 16, 17 points, and he came back and won that game against Minnesota by 14. And it was an incredible adjustment by Quinn Snyder in the second half. And why was that impressive? Well, the previous game, they went into Milwaukee and absolutely, thumped Milwaukee. And, of course, my cat jumps up on my chair at the time. I don't want him to. But we'll press through that. And then, they get on a plane, and you would think, okay, well, it's certainly going to be a letdown spot. And they really didn't play well in the first half. But in the second half, when you thought that this was the team that was going to get tired, that's when they really buckled down on defense and started to play well. And that's, obviously when the game turned around. So I give them a lot of credit. And why did I bring that up is, I mean, Tony, maybe you can help me out on this, but I just don't know where this Wizards organization is going. And I was thinking today, I mean, when was the last time you could say the Wizards had a top-notch coach? I mean, do we have to go back to Gene Shue, maybe Bernie Bickerstaff that was there for 2-3 years, never did anything really in the postseason. I mean, Dick Mott, of course, won that championship in '78. I mean, you got to go back a long time, and I just am clueless with what this organization is doing. And until I figure it out, I mean, there was absolutely no way that I could put my money behind them. And then, of course, tonight you're going to. I guess Trae Young is going to play tonight, so I mean that's not good either for Washington. And Daniel Gafford's going to be out of the game, and we saw the other night when Gafford was out against Boston. Boston absolutely dominated the middle, and I think that's going to be the same thing tonight. I think Capella's going to have a great game, and Porzingis was absolutely on fire with Gafford out of the lineup. I just think that's a massive break for Atlanta. With him not being there. But honestly, whether he was playing or not, I think Atlanta absolutely dominates this game.
Yeah, it's no doubt about that. Atlanta here, with Dana here in this one. I'm just, a name escapes me. Who was that OKC coach that came over? He had some quality to that team, but couldn't do anything with him.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's been a long time. I mean, even during the years where they were able to throw out Gilbert Arenas, and at one point they had 3 All-Stars of their starting 5. I mean, you would have thought that they would have had a shot to go further in the postseason. But Tony, I can't even think about when. I mean, when has this team made the 3rd round of the postseason?
Oh goodness!
I mean,
back in the Alvin Hayes days and Wes Unseld.
That's exactly right. I mean, has it been since '78?
Yeah,
I guess '79.
I can't think of it. I mean, they're good teams. The only problem they had, Eddie Jordan was a coach, I think.
Well, not only was Eddie Jordan a coach, you want to talk about Wes Unseld Jr. and his dad. As much as his dad did for the organization as a player, he probably took away from it as a coach. I mean, as a coach, his win percentage was below 40%. His son's not doing much better. He's 25, 26 games under 500 as a head coach. As much as, and I had a lot of hope, Tony, because I watched Ted Leonsis come in and as the owner of this team in an organization that was in turmoil, and I thought, oh my goodness, okay, I've seen what he's going to do for the Washington Capitals or what he did for the Caps, and maybe he's going to do the same for the Wizards. But there is just, I mean, even the other night against Boston, I mean, the culture around there is not good. The Celtics fans far outnumbered the Wizard fans in the stands, and it's the culture's bad there. Nobody wants to go play. Poole is horrific. I mean, he is just not a disciplined player. I mean, from what I've seen in this uniform so far, he hasn't been the big pickup that they had hoped for. And I like teams that shoot the ball well from the free throw line. That's certainly Atlanta. And I think the Hawks can actually play better than they've played. I mean, obviously they can. I mean, we've seen Trae Young shoot barely over 30%, so he's certainly not on top of his game. I think all of those guys have massive games tonight. And,
Trae Young had that horrible first game. That's skewing the numbers.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, so, and then the other thing too is if he has that Achilles injury, I believe, and so even if he's not 100% tonight, we can go to the depth if you want to start there. I mean, the Wizard depth is a joke compared to what Atlanta is. I mean, Murray could come right off the bench and lead you in scoring. So Wizards have nobody like that, and the only way, in going back to teams being motivated, there is no reason why the Wizards didn't come out and play a motivating brand of basketball against Boston. No reason. And even if you look at their quarter numbers, Tony, first, second quarter, in fact, the Wizards are number 1 in the NBA in scoring in the second quarter. Third and fourth quarter, they're in the 20s. I mean, there's a complete drop-off when the opposition coach makes changes and the Wizards do not. And that's just the bottom line. That nobody wants to play there. It's a bad culture. And I think Atlanta's clearly the spot here.
2001, 2003, the head coach of the Wizards was Doug Collins. That's about it.
I bet he was under 500, wasn't he?
Yeah, well, that's because they had Michael Jordan and he had some aging stars over there at that period of time.
Yeah, I mean, he was like a 45% coach as well. I mean, there's nobody. I mean, Bickerstaff was barely over 500, and you have to go back to Gene Shue. I mean, it's really a joke. I mean, for Wizard fans, the same thing I say about Pirate fans. I don't know how they go into community and look people in the eye and say, "Can you buy season tickets?" Well, you're buying season tickets to watch your opponents, because we sure as heck aren't moving forward to win a championship. You tell me where the Wizards are amongst the team that's in the NBA, and I'll tell you they're ping-ponging back and forth with Portland.
Yeah.
They have done nothing since 1978.
It reminds me back that article that came out in Sports Illustrated, the worst franchise, LA Clippers, back in who was that owner they had before with Elgin Baylor? It goes back down to that. That's some bad,
Well, what's interesting about that is you remember, Tony. I mean, back in the day, back in the late '80s or whatever. I mean, the Wizards / Bullets were really bad then, still, but they weren't as bad as the Kings, and they weren't as bad as the Warriors, and they weren't as bad as the Clippers. So you always knew, hey, you got a shot at those teams, and we're not always the worst. But those teams have had their time, and outside of what Arenas brought, for a little bit before he blew his knee out. The organization's in complete disarray. I don't know how I ever can have my money in back of an organization. I mean, how do you feel if you're a player for the Wizards going to work every day?
Yeah.
They certainly weren't inspired against the Celtics. How are they going to be inspired against the Hawks?
Yeah, it's just for the 1st and 15th of the month. That's pretty much all you look. That's all you got to look for. That's all you got to look forward for when you're with the Wizards.
That's exactly right, and maybe earn that paycheck once in a while. I mean, at least you can do is play defense. I mean, that game against Indiana where they, they were just there. It was either they want to play playground ball or they don't shoot the ball well, or they want to slow the pace down. But it's never, man, we're putting our hands down on the floor and we're going to play defense and make it real difficult on the opposition. I mean. For what they did, Atlanta did the other night against Conley, and I mean, they basically shut those guys down in the second half. And I don't know what you do if you're the Wizards. I mean, you need a big man in the middle. I don't know if you go to Detroit where, Bagley or Wiseman's available, but this is a team that I don't know where you start. There's so many holes, and obviously Poole just does not take it seriously, and he's not the player everybody thought he was going to be.
Yeah,
he's not going to carry this offense. He's too inconsistent.
Well, look at Golden State's defense when he left. He look at the Golden State's defense when he left. I mean, that's far this early, right? Warriors are playing defense, and they look good on the road. I didn't see it. I didn't think Poole was the issue, but everybody kept pointing to his lack of defense. But just another. What do you do with the scores that can't play D? They go to Washington. That's where they land.
Well, and it's not only that too. I mean, listen. I mean, if you're not going to score 27 a night, and that's fine. You don't expect that out of him, really. But I mean, they don't give anybody to work with. I mean, when DeLon Wright's your first guy off the bench, and he had an 8-point the other night, or your second guy off the bench, there's just zero depth there. Every year I look at this roster, Tony, and I just say, okay, what are we doing this year? Because this is not. You are not moving forward towards a playoff spot at all. I mean, no. You see teams hit the bottom of the barrel. You saw Houston hit the bottom of the barrel for a long time. I mean, and then there's usually a plan. You saw the 76ers hit it for a couple of years.
Toronto might be that next team to do that. We'll see.
Right, exactly. Usually there's a plan. There's never a plan in Washington, Tony, ever. And Wes Unseld Jr. is 71-96 as a head coach. But that's cool there.
That's cool
when
there.
When apathy sets in, you have the Boston Celtic fans taking over your arena.
Yep. And speaking of Atlanta, Ritter hits the bench, Heineke to start. Arthur Blank, the owner, announced that. Interesting how Blank always announces that news. I always find it interesting when an owner just puts his. Oh, you're in Vegas, right? So what do you take about this in-season firing? What's the word? With the Raiders? Yeah.
Hey, listen. Everywhere Mark goes, Mark Davis. I mean, the way Allegiant Stadium is, and you guys have all seen the videos, I mean, people, if they have an opinion, they'll let Mark know. I'm surprised he sits where he sits. But you talk about another organization where they're just, where's the sense of direction? And I think Devontae Adams has said that so many times without actually saying that. There's no sense of this is the path. There's no path. There's, well, we'll try this. We'll try that. They were non-competitive against Detroit. They were not. Yeah, and the other thing too, Tony, I am mostly interested how a team, when we talk about coaching, comes out after halftime. How do they respond after halftime? What adjustments are being made? That's what separates coaches, basically. Nothing. I mean, the Raiders had absolutely no answers and were run over in the second half, and it had to be. This firing has to be done. This is a town now, Tony. We got 2 WNBA championships. We got a Stanley Cup. We got an NHL team this year that hasn't lost in regulation. UNLV certainly stepping up in football.
Yeah.
They're stepping up in basketball. I mean, this, whether it's the same sport or not, it's like these hotels are not the same company, but they sure as heck are each other's competition for the same dollar. And the Raiders need to step it up.
Yeah, and I'm going to throw this wild one at you because you know people are going to mention this. Deion Sanders to Las Vegas.
I don't know, man. Hey, listen. I think it's a great story, and I'll be the first. I don't love everything, but I think it's a great story for college football. I think he has. I mean, obviously, he's already exceeded the win total that they expected the Buffaloes to have this year. I think it's a terrific story. What I don't like, press conferences that throw your team under the bus. What I don't like is, not taking full ownership of everything, saying, we're going to make changes here because that's not good enough. And this, and and that's fine. That's coaches speak. But I think Deion has all the potential in the world to be a fantastic coach on any level. I think he needs more seasoning on this level. I don't think he's ready for the Raiders. I think probably that was kind of a tongue-in-cheek comment.
That's right.
But
I'm just saying, Mike Davis needs money, right? Obviously, he makes money. Obviously, whatever we figure that out, right? What it will do for merch sales and whatnot.
Right, but if you hire Sanders, does that, as a fan base, make you think, "Wow, now we're serious about winning," or is it like, now we're putting a really flashy Band-Aid on everything? I just don't think he's ready yet. Not saying he won't be, because his teams have responded. I love the attitude that he brings. It's just the X's and O's. See what? I mean, we know
how to block blitzes.
Right.
The offensive linemen, they don't know what to do. I played offensive line in high school. If you don't know how to block or who to block, if you've seen a blitz or a formation you're not aware of, you kind of your head goes like this. And I'm looking at Colorado. They're blaming the line. I'm looking at Colorado, and I'm saying, hey, these guys weren't coached right and weren't coached these sets and these blitz patterns because these guys don't know who the hell to block. That's what it looked like to me.
He does say one thing, Tony. And I'm going to take all your time, but he does say one thing I really like is when Sanders says, "You better get me now." I love that attitude because that is sending. And I don't like the fact that he uses the word "me," but I get what he's saying, and he does believe in himself, and he does believe he's building a winner there. And no matter what they do, I don't care if they don't make a bowl game. They're probably not going to make a bowl game with their schedule coming up. But whatever they've done, they have certainly taken that program and elevated it from where it was. There's no doubt about that. So anything he does from this point on is a complete success. So let him build the program like we would any other coach. This was a program. What was their season win total, Tony? 2.5, 3?
2.5, yeah, that neighborhood, 2.5, 3, yeah.
2.5. I mean, so
exceeded.
He's done a great job. And not only has he built that team, but everybody that came through that transfer portal, it's not easy getting all these guys on the same page. No. It's not easy taking your young quarterback, who certainly was not playing on the level of Colorado playing USC or teams like that, getting him acclimated. I think it's fantastic what they've done. I give them all the props in the world, and I hope they continue to find success. I don't put any pressure on this guy. Just leave Kelsey and Taylor Swift alone. Let them be.
There you
because
go.
they'll be fine if you just let them be.
There you go. All right, Dana, like the Hawks tonight in action. All right, Dana, let everybody know what's happening over at Pick Dogs Premium. Great start in college football.
Yeah, good. We have 3 games of college football up. 17 minutes to the Akron game kicks off. I got the total up on that. 2 more games in the NHL tonight: Dallas and Calgary, Arizona, Anaheim, and of course we got the side and total in the Texas Rangers Arizona Diamondbacks World Series game tonight, which it's crazy. This could be the end of the baseball season. I remember when I was so hopeful that the Pirates would be 500.
That's right, guys. I get up. That's all right. We're here. We are in November, and we're not in a game 7. If there's a game 7, it's Saturday. So we still, we could potentially still have a lot of baseball left. Get on board with Dana Lane over at Pick Dog Film. Great results here from Dana here in college football. Great results over the past 7 days. So get on board with Dana. The plays tonight or the long-term pass. You guys, early week like that 7-day pass. You get all of Dana's premium plays for 7 days. That's all the college football for this week. All the NFL, as well as NHL, NBA, World Series. If we continue, will be more days of baseball. And, of course, college basketball begins on Monday. As Mitch said, 83 games ready to roll. But Dana, a veteran of this, a season based in Vegas. We've been doing this for many years, Dana. So you're already getting ready for college basketball, I think.
This is so much on the plate now. So much. I mean, when I see those Saturday slates come out, I guess the thing I'm happiest about, Tony, is now they have a bigger slate on Friday than they used to.
Yes.
So that cuts off some of the Saturday games. But yeah, when this comes out, you really have got to stay focused, and you really have got to have a plan, because you'll basically implode with all the options. And of course, anybody who has done this for any length of time will tell you that, this is my plan of attack, and you've got to stay in that plan of attack. And, sometimes when you're not going well on one sport, you don't want it to affect another. So yeah, this is anybody who has success, November through June, they really know what they're talking about.
Yeah, they certainly do. And, of course, the college basketball cards usually bigger on Fridays in November, light on Saturday, going up against the football. But come December, here comes those big on Championship Saturday, here comes these big college basketball cards as well.
Yeah, it's insane. I mean, what's great is because, I do the Against the Public show when we have games available. I'm going to tweak that a little bit so I can put that up every day now. It just, you put your games up for sale, and then you want to, and then you got to find games that go against the public that you're trying to put some winners out. But once college basketball starts, you will have this mammoth schedule, so there will be plenty to choose from.
Let everybody know about your against the public betting show that you run, going against the obvious, right?
Yeah, well, I mean, it's sometimes, Tony, I mean, you look at baseball and really the NFL, and if you look at past numbers in history, the public has actually won more than they've lost. It's the juice that always gets them, especially in hockey and baseball. So you do have to dance around it a little bit, which I think is why we're going to, kind of tweak the show just one more time and maybe call it against the number, so I can have a little bit more leeway to actually make picks and kind of, not be so, put in a corner with plays. But yeah, 57% winners on the show. Put that up every day. Try to keep it to 6-7 minutes, but usually it's 8 to 10.
There you go, Dana Lane. Yeah, that's right. All right, Dana. We'll keep an eye on that show. We like it a lot. Get really good feedback from that show. All right, Dana. Have a great week. We'll catch up with you again next week.
You too. All the best, Tony. Thanks for having me.
You as well. Dana Lane here on the Drive Thru. Guys, make sure you like, subscribe, set notifications so when Dana drops that video, it's called Public Betting Now, and you'll be able to get the results right away. All right, we gave you the plays. Let's get to the recap here, and we'll let you go here we're kind of extending the show a little bit. I'm glad you guys are patient about this, because what we've done here is we kind of expanded the coverage here on the Drive to add more games, right, to the show, and I think everybody seems to like that. I know we're going a little overtime, and I know sorry, Paco, I was not able to get that question in, but anyway, we'd like to get a little bit more games from the guys, and as you notice, I think it makes the show flow better when we kind of expand it a little bit. And of course, I got the graphic interface, the live odds coming in, so we can keep it fresh and flow and keep the scenes coming in. I got almost 300 scenes in this show, so no reason why we can't expand the games a little bit. That's what we've been doing, and we're seeing a rise. So appreciate everyone's patience here. in that one, where does he get his public numbers from? I can only assume he probably looks at the betting tools, and where the money on Mitch's site, it tells you where the money's flowing. So that's probably what he's talking about. Sometimes the money can be flown, but the line moves the other way. I think that's kind of what he's looking at. All right, let's continue on. Well, we got through that part, but let's get to the recap if I haven't done it already. All right, Chris was on Nets plus 6.5 against Heat. Mitch, Clippers money line here against the Lakers. That line's coming down because of the news. It looks like the Kawhi and George will play. Matter of fact, let me just refresh that screen. You never know, right? You never know what happens in this league. Let's see here what we got here as we refresh the injuries and see if we can confirm anything. Well, yep, we still have David. We still have Westbrook, Highland, George, and Leonard off the injury report, and Zubac off the injury report, so they're expected to play. So that's not official, but that's expected. Rather, they're still on the expected status. All right, so Mitch, moneyline Clippers. Al like the T-Wolves plus 2 against Nuggets. Wayne was on Bulls plus 4 against the Mavericks. Brad like Kent Akron under 39. Rod says D-backs minus 104 against Rangers. We had Dana here, Hawks lay the 9.5 against Wizards. I'll be Bucks, Raptors over 223.5. And the one that I like the most here is, well, let's see, which one do I like the most here. Let me take a look at my notes here so I can give you who I liked here, because I'm already thinking about tomorrow's games. Let's see here what we're going to do here. Which one? What do you guys like? That's what I'm looking at. Which ones do you guys like the most? Let's see here. Was it the Bulls game? I think I was looking at that Bulls. Yeah, that might have been that Bulls game because of the way the Dallas is playing really bad defense this year, and they're winning games. So that's what we'll go. Bulls here plus 4 with Wayne in that one. All right, that's going to do it here for this edition here of the Drive Through. We'll be back here again. Oh, we got people come chime in. Some folks like Calgary as their play tonight. I appreciate everybody's contributions in there. Big Scott in there, Blake as well, John Stewart, Zingwen Zhao. Thank you for your questions in there as well. Ari Gold again coming in, Blake as well. Shingdong University in here as well. Ron Crawford, shout out to Ron in the chat. Really good contributions today from everybody in the chat room today. Another Tony in there. Ross the Boss. I like that moniker there. That sounds pretty cool. Ramon in there as well. Rod in there. No doubt about that. Let's see here. Good contributions today on the show. Darren Turner as well. I don't know if Darren Turner is going to continue to. What did he say yesterday? He said something about taking a break from something. Was it hockey or NBA? We'll figure it out next tomorrow's show. All right, that's going to do for our show today, guys. Be sure to tune in again tomorrow. We'll do it all over again. Mills was in there as well. That will do it for the show. We'll be back again tomorrow. Make sure you guys tune in. Remember, it always begins here. Morning show, 10:30 a.m. Eastern time. You got Jay, you got Chris, you got Mitch. Mitch's 7 picks in 5 minutes. His betting tools show, his roundtable professional show. Wrap around NHL with Chris, NHL show with Rod Zawacky. We also have shows here from Jay, NBA Rundown, NFL Rundown. We've got Romanelli with his MLB college football rundown. Public betting here from Dana. We also have Big Al with his All Access. Check out that video pic on the show and get that information about Big Al's All Access on there. And Nerfies, Jerfies from Nick, as well as touchdown props from Nick as well. Parlays and UFC rundowns from Mills as well. Parlay videos from Brad. So lots of content. That's going to do it for the show. Let's go ahead and bring